This is how Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway. Like I said a while back, the odds are stacked against Conor McGregor. He's old. He hasn't fought in almost exactly 5 years. The last time he fought, he snapped his leg and that required a long recovery. And when he was fighting all those 5 years ago, he was 1-3 in his last 4. Meanwhile, Max Holloway is in his fighting prime. Has literally only fought the elite of the elite and is just simply on paper better than Conor McGregor in practically every way they match up. But with all that being said, the edits has got to me, bro. That One Summer Night song has had me believing that Conor McGregor can continue the weirdness of this year and pull off another monumental upset. If you didn't watch this video of the main events of numbered cards, 6 of the 7 main events have been upsets. So with about a week away from Conor McGregor's return on an insanely stacked card, how can Conor McGregor pull off the generational upset? Alright, so the only clear advantage Conor has is definitely his size. I'm telling you, Conor can absolutely frame Mog Max. Look at these pictures. Sure, Max is taller, but you can clearly tell that Conor is much bigger. Max was given a couple months notice that this fight with Conor was at 170. Conor has been bulking up for the last 5 years. Dude has a legitimate bodybuilding physique and then fought Jake Gyllenhaal at 185. Conor is a damn house now, and like we've been seeing before, even though you can hit a number on a scale and technically be big enough, there's a big difference between that and naturally being able to carry that weight and move at that size. Even though, like Max, Conor was a featherweight for a long time and eventually a lightweight, I think Conor is legitimately a natural welterweight now. He even said on the Ariel Helwani show that he has to cut weight this time to make 170, meaning the guy is probably pretty big. On the other side, Max has always been on the smaller end. He just recently became a lightweight and now in 2 months is forced to be a welterweight. No matter how good Max is, this is going to be a big adjustment for him to carry so much more weight since the style does really rely on speed, footwork, and in and out movement. Like we saw with the Alex fight, sure, he was big enough on the scale, but it was very clear that he wasn't used to carrying that weight in the octagon. So given this size discrepancy, how can Conor take advantage? Like I said, Conor has to frame Mog him. Even though Conor has the reach advantage, let's face it, he is absolutely killed at distance. Max is going to have to adjust with the new weight, but man, he's still one of the best at controlling distance. Look at his Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier 3 fights. He controlled the distance, controlled the action all 5 rounds, and he knew he could explode and engage and could land at the end of his punches and just ran laps around both of them. And I think Conor McGregor at 37 is also just not going to have the same reaction time at this age. He was buttery smooth and in flow state when he was 27, but at this age, I highly doubt he's going to have that same reaction time. So with the speed, footwork, and reaction time disadvantage, this new version of Conor has to adapt, and I think he does so by crowding the distance between him and Max. I really like the approach Conor had against Cowboy at 170. He immediately walked forward, got into the clinch, actually made Cowboy's nose bleed from shoulder strikes, and then ended it with a giant head kick. And that's the approach I think he should come into this fight against Max here. Absolutely just bully Max. I know 10 years ago Conor was a master at distance, but now it's Max who has mastered distance, and now it's Conor who has to crowd Max. You know what the ironic part about this is? Conor has to be the Nate Diaz to Max's Conor. Alright, that is an insanely confusing statement, but let me explain. When Conor fought Nate Diaz for those 2 fights, that was also a short notice jump into 170 from featherweight. And Nate Diaz bullied Conor in that first fight, and also in the latter rounds bullied the hell out of Conor in the second fight. Pushed him into the fence, took advantage of his size, and crowded Conor's distance, taking away his striking advantage and turning this into a dogfight the last couple of rounds. I think this is exactly what Conor should do in this fight. Close the distance, hit Max with shoulder strikes, get dirty in the clinch, and lay his weight on Max, turning this into a dirty boxing match. And we've seen recently in lightweight that you can have some success against Max Holloway in those dirty boxing exchanges. Look at Justin Gaethje towards the end of their fight when he grabs his collar tie and then launches a really tight right hook to knock Max down. And then Dustin Poirier was able to land out of the open stance with this big left hand into a right hook that drops Max Holloway, again because he closed the distance so well. I can see Conor McGregor closing the distance, making it dirty, couple shoulder strikes, and then when they break briefly and are in a very close range, in that open stance, Conor McGregor can launch that left hand straight into Max Holloway's chin, and it may drop him, especially considering his strength at 170. And at this range, I mean, Conor can do a lot more than just strike here. And you know what? This might sound absolutely crazy, but I think Conor McGregor should mix up the grappling. Yeah, I know, sounds crazy, but recently we did see Charles completely shut down Max's game with the body lock after body lock after body lock. And if you go back to when Max fought Dustin in their second fight, Dustin Poirier, obviously a striker, had a lot of success with mixing in the takedowns, even if he wasn't getting most of them. Volkanovski, same thing, was able to mix in takedowns in their second fight and really turn the tides, not letting Max gain momentum. And even though it was for a brief moment, Ilya blasted this double leg easy. Conor is big, man. He hasn't shot for a takedown in a very long time, but I'm sure if he crowds Max's space and makes it dirty, he can naturally find a takedown and shut down Max's game, even if it's for a brief moment. Or Conor McGregor might find it relatively easy to get a body lock or get some sort of takedown on Max like the first fight and keep him down and keep him controlled. I know this was a long time ago, but considering the size that Conor has put on, Conor might find a lot of control and a lot of ground and pound from this position. So if Conor does follow this game plan, bullies Max, keeps the forward pressure, and grapples, he's not going to last very long. And you know what? I don't think he was going to last long regardless. In Conor's prime, he barely had the cardio to last with Nate Diaz all 5 rounds at 170. At this age, no way is Conor going to last 5 rounds with Max and strike with him the whole way. I know it's really bad advice to tell a fighter to fight a 5-round fight by going all out in the first 2. We've seen how that goes, but man, Conor really doesn't have anything to lose if he goes out there and empties the gas tank in the first 2. So might as well. No matter how much training Conor does, he will never be and never was a 5-round fighter. He's gonna gas out regardless, so might as well explode for those first 2-ish rounds and fight a 3-round pace. Again, like the Cowboy fight at 170, he has to push the pace and push the pace hard. Crowd Max, dirty box, hit him with the power shots and even mix in the grappling, possibly laying down some heavy ground and pound. But realistically, how is this fight going to play out? Because I laid out a game plan, an ideal game plan for Conor McGregor, but is he going to follow said game plan? You know, Conor McGregor has a very delusional confidence. It's what got him to the top and might inevitably be his downfall. I think Conor McGregor truly thinks at this age he still has it in terms of distance striking, in terms of reaction time, and in terms of just being the better striker than Max Holloway. He's definitely undermined the improvement that Max Holloway has had over the course of several years since their first fight. And I think Conor McGregor might be delusional enough to think that he's still going to find something at distance, so he's going to keep this striking at distance at a clear disadvantage. I don't think he's going to take advantage of his size all too much less grapple at will. So I think what's going to happen is going to be similar to the Max Holloway-Dustin Poirier 3 fight, where Dustin Poirier kind of thought he was fast enough to fight Max at distance, and you could clearly tell as the fight progressed that he was just a little bit slower and he was just getting mixed up by Max, who was clearly the better fighter at this range. But unlike the Dustin Poirier 3 fight and Dustin Poirier in general, I don't think Conor McGregor is as well conditioned as Dustin at this age, so I think instead of 5 rounds of getting beat like Dustin, it's more so probably going to be a 3rd or 4th round TKO by Max when the inevitable happens and Conor starts to gas out. So look for that late round knockout. But anyways, what do you guys think about Conor McGregor's return against Max Holloway? Will Conor McGregor find any success? Will he win this fight? Would that be insane and cap off another upset in this year? I don't know. I don't like Conor's chances here, and I'm not saying all these edits have changed me, but considering, again, all those other upsets this year, I'm starting to believe in the impossible. So let me know what you guys think about Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Thank you guys for always supporting, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.